Alright, welcome back, finally. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting this series to come back. And yeah, I know, I've been doing a lot of Persona 5 LP videos a lot recently. Just back to back to back to back. But I still have more than a few playthroughs that I would prefer not to be put into complete purgatory. So no more hiatus on these videos. I'm going to actually start working on the other LP videos as soon as I can. Don't worry, Persona 5 is still going to be a thing. It's still going to be going strong, and there's still going to be a lot of videos of that. But, you know, just to kind of mix it up, let's actually touch on some of the other games that I have on the channel. So we're back to Darksiders. And for this, we're just going to be doing some more Zelda-esque collecting. So more life shards, more wrath shards, a few of these little trinkets to go ahead and give the Vulgrim. Because we get to buy more moves and more items. So, I did the last video, I think somewhere like last year. This is kind of a weird pull to just bring back, but hey, I actually like this game a lot. I think Darksiders is pretty fun. You know what the messed up part is? I kind of wanted to do this series and Darksiders 2 before Darksiders 3 came out. A little late on that, I believe. More than a little late on that boat. Because now there's another Darksiders game, more or less Darksiders 4, coming out on PS4 and Switch. Although, it's not really called Darksiders 4, it's called Darksiders Genesis, with War and with Strife. Okay, I mean, I'm still probably gonna get it, but it looks more like a Diablo game than an actual Darksiders game. Still should be pretty interesting. Because hey, War's back, and War's cool. Improved Stinger. Stinger is the best. Make the range, make the damage better, because Stinger is awesome. There we go. Harpoon tackle. It's a stinger. You can call it whatever you want, but it's a stinger. Speaking of that, DMC5, I know that's been a while. DMC5 came out during the wait period between this and the last episode. Also, that game is really good. Play DMC5. If we're talking about action games. I've been thinking I might actually try doing a Devil May Cry playthrough at one point or another on my channel. But again, I've got a lot of games that... I have a lot of game series that I want and probably need to do. Catherine Full Body came out. I want to actually do a series on that. However big of a, nightmare that's going to be. It's funny because it's about dreams and stuff. Anyway, let's see. Persona 5 The Royal is going to be coming out sometime next year. Early next year, I imagine, in the West. It's going to be coming out in October, which is not that far away this year in Japan. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff I can probably put on the channel. If you guys have any suggestions, by all means, let me know. I'm pretty sure that for Darksiders Genesis, they're gonna get Liam O'Brien back. I mean, they brought him back for Darksiders 3, and they also brought back, I don't know, I forgot the name of Death's voice actor, but I'm pretty sure they got him back too. And also, Strife has a pretty interesting voice that I wasn't expecting. Gotta say, he has a much deeper voice than I was imagining. I always thought, like, out of all the horsemen, Strife would be the snarky asshole. But no, apparently the snarky one goes to death. Everybody else is more or less... And I guess Fury kind of has a bit of snarkiness too. But... I don't know. I guess I'm expecting a little bit too much personality from the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Actually, I think during the interim between this and the previous video, Darksiders Warmastered came out on the Switch. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been nearly a whole year since I updated this series. I'm going to try to get on a more consistent schedule for this. I know I've said that before, but I'm going to try. Anyway, we're at the Choking Grounds. Which just looks like a park. Did they just decide to rename a lot of these areas, like from our time to, you know, post-apocalypse time, to just more metal album-sounding places? I guess Central Park wouldn't sound as cool, or the Central Graveyard, or whatever. Okay, I know I keep bringing up... I know this is a video game and I'm probably just being stupid. This game took place kind of a little after, like, I don't know, 2000s. So why are there zombies in Skyrim armor with big-ass swords that they were apparently buried with? Also, destroy all the graves for extra souls. It's a good way to make extra money by defiling grave sites. My brother's going to be so pissed off, but it's worth it. I don't know how Death would feel about this. Although I feel like, the Death in the Darksiders series is a lot snarkier. Like he has very dry wit. He's also the only like character in the Darksiders series who's kind of like, I don't know. He's the smartass of the group, even though he's the leader. I guess you kind of can be whenever you just straight up are just the biggest and the baddest of the crew. Because that giant arm of War got that because Death just straight up cut off his arm because War was being a dick. And Death was just like, alright, come on, War, you're being a douche. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, fine, you lose your arm privileges. And just cut it off. An interesting family dynamic, which doesn't really get explored in all these games. Not really. Darksiders 1 is about War trying to restore the balance. Darksiders 2 is about Death trying to clear his brother's name for accidentally kickstarting the apocalypse. Darksiders 3, I believe, takes place somewhere around... I might have mentioned this in the previous one, but that was a while ago. So forgive me if I'm forgetting a few things. Darksiders 3, I believe it's about Death just kind of like screwing around while War is on trial. And Darksiders Genesis, I guess, takes place after Darksiders 3 because it's with War and with strife. So it either takes place well before Darksiders 1 or it takes place well after the ending of Darksiders 1. Because War's not in prison. I'm not sure. The timeline on this game series is weird. Not as bad as the Zelda timeline, but it's kind of along the lines of Devil May Cry's timeline, in which it goes from 3, then 1, then 4, then 5, and 2 may or may not be before 5, or it might not even exist at all. I'm gonna say 2 probably exists because you know, they made art books and it's acknowledged on the Devil May Cry 4 timeline, that one video that they have at the very beginning of the game. So I'm gonna say, yeah, it does kinda count, but you don't have to play it. Although it does get referenced in Beautiful Joe. Because whenever you play as Dante in the PS2 version of Beautiful Joe, Alistair's all like, oh god, Dante didn't take me on his most recent adventure. What an asshole, and he hit me against stuff. It sucks. And Dante's all like, oh, what? I don't remember that. That must have been Enzo. Yeah, he borrows my jacket sometimes. I love how Hideki Kamiya's game just kind of like says, no, Devil May Cry 2 didn't really count. That was Enzo, dressed up as Dante. Look, there's secrets in here. He's just a more pissed off version of Link. Although I guess Zelda, classic Zelda. It's a reference to classic Zelda, not really Breath of the Wild. Well, I guess Breath of the Wild has like it plays more like kind of a classic Zelda game. While Breath of the Wild is a far more like open game that can just be done any which way, and you already have all the items to fix puzzles. Speaking of Zelda, Link's Awakening for the Switch came out, and it's really fun. Go play it. It's adorable. It's also just a really solid game. Not a very long one, but solid. Just a bunch of little collectible stuff to sell to Volgrim. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've actually touched on the other series, but I'm going to bring back this series, obviously, Odin Sphere and then Valkyrie Drive. Because I actually want to finish those games. I actually want to finish those series. I kind of just left them hanging for... I just kind of left them hanging in limbo for a while. Anyway, let's go sell this to Volgrim and buy some more stuff. There we go. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get the... Let's go ahead and get the scythe. Get ourselves a sub-weapon. And it's got a whole bunch of new moves. So hey, now we got a secondary weapon, which we can incorporate into more of our combos. And it's more or less Death's Scythe, although not really. The Harvester is actually Death's Scythe, which can be unlocked via a password, but I don't remember if it works in the PS4 version. Oh well. Anyway, this should add a little bit more variety to our moveset. And it's good for crowd control. Just never stop stingering. Yeah, the scythe is pretty cool. Obviously, it needs more moves. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of a static combo. Yeah, Darksiders doesn't really have the same kind of combat system that you would see in Bayo or DMC. But it tries. It tries. It's got stuff going here. You can make some stuff happen. You just gotta buy more moves, because whenever you first start out, it's gonna be just hammer on the square button or hammer on the triangle button, yada yada yada. But once you like get all your moves, oh, then you got a stew going. Yeah. At the very least, the combat feels good in Darksiders because it's very weighty. It's very visceral. It's very... You feel the impact, you know? It's a little bit like a Dynasty Warriors game, but, you know, with more impact. Sometimes the platforming's not so great. Sometimes it just kind of... Sometimes the platform just kind of wants to mess with you. More hidden collectibles. More hidden fight rooms. I'm kind of curious, like, obviously the next game's gonna be Genesis, which is a Diablo-style game, but it doesn't have a number attached to it. So, is Darksiders 4, if Darksiders 4 is ever a thing, is Darksiders 4 gonna be Strife's own game, or is that kind of like blown on Genesis? Because that doesn't seem entirely fair. Because, okay, sure, it seems a bit weirder to make kind of a game based on a character who does nothing but gunslinging. And I guess they'd figure... And I guess you might think, like, okay, well, it's just gonna be like a third-person shooter. Because if it's a first-person shooter, what's the point? Because you can't see your cool character do all in his, like, Joe Mad design and stuff like that. Or is Darksiders 4 gonna be everybody team up finally for 4-player co-op? Because I think that's kind of what everybody... Because I'm pretty sure that's what everybody who plays a Darksiders game kind of wants at this point. To just have all the horsemen team up and for you to be able to play as all of them. Got another Wrath Shard. To play a game where you're just nothing but the horse, where you're all 4 horsemen. And you're fighting the ultimate big bad, whatever that might be. Because in Darksiders 1, you're dealing with heaven and hell. Darksiders 2, you're dealing with stuff in between, and more or less the undead, even more than Darksiders 1. Darksiders 3, you're fighting the 7 deadly sins. Darksiders 4, or Darksiders Genesis, I should say, I'm not sure.
Come for the destroyer. My brother spoke of your coming, but a powerful curse holds me now. I cannot help you. Any curse can be broken. Yes, perhaps. These servants of the destroyer walk unseen within the realm of shadow. By their blood we are bound. By their blood shall we be free. I can no longer move within the Shadow Realm.
And now this is connected to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Has left me. You need not enter it. I will grant you the power to see into the accursed realm for a time. But to what end? What hope have we now against the destroyer's foul sorcery? Hope will not bring you freedom.
You don't have to point your sword at him, he's gonna help you. War is just constantly pissed off, as I suppose is appropriate. Not really one to, like, crack a smile.
Find where these shadow lurkers hide and kill them all. They can't be that hard to find.
Apparently moving the camera just silences Mark Hamill. Go figure. Anyway, we gotta go find all these little combat trials. And hey, are you a trophy/achievement hunter? Well, guess what? There's one that kinda can only be unlocked here. As you will soon see. So now we have big Devil May Cry eyeball doors. Is that really necessary? Are the spikes also necessary? You already have like a hell gate blocking the way out. That just seems excessive. Aerial brawl. Do sick-ass air combos. Use your launchers. Oh!
Surely this is no challenge for fighting you.
Yeah, they have to be in the air when you kill them. So you kind of have to like... You kind of have to like soften them up a little bit before. Which I am not really showing off that well. You kind of have to soften up just a little bit. There we go. They're a little too fragile sometimes. They just kind of die like really quick, but there you go. If you manage to like soften them up a little bit, then use your launcher and then do a big ass air combo, then yeah, you're good. And also the timer is very, very highly generous. So not too hard. And you get a nice little chunk of souls.
I always knew you had it in you.
Thanks, Mark Hamill. Now destroy the eyeball. Oh, yeah. Lot of blood in it. And it's also really nice because it recharges your wrath and your health. There you go. Not too hard. On to the next hell trial. That required a cutscene, sure. Traveling is going to be very slow going until we actually get our horse. Which doesn't happen right off the bat, which they fix in Darksiders 2. And in Darksiders 3. It's kind of weird for a horseman not to have his horse like from the get-go. Speed brawl! Fight the weakest enemies in the game in a certain amount of time limit. You got 3 minutes to kill 40 of them. Go! Use wrath moves to like really crank it up. There we go. But they run away from you, so that makes it a little harder for them to get all grouped up. Scythe is pretty good for crowd control. Does some pretty decent damage, too. And it just looks cool. It's all purple and stuff. You know, say what you will, it might be a post-apocalyptic game, but at the very least, it has some color that just pops. I like that. At least it's not gray and dingy and gunmetal and stuff like that. I never understood what was so appealing about that color scheme. Like, I know that was a thing back in the mid-2000s, something like that, where every game was a third-person, behind-the-wall cover shooter, and they were all dingy and brown and gray. I don't know why that was so appealing. Is it because it was more realistic, or what? There's nothing wrong with having color in your video game. In fact, the more color, the better. Make your games colorful, make them pop, make them look interesting. Also use the horn whenever able in combat, because it's really funny. I do wish that the kill animations were a bit more varied from here and there. But everybody gets one. Everybody gets one unique kill animation. And that's about it. Yeah! Even more souls. We're gonna have our whole moveset by the end of this game. Or something that can do it. God, it just like pours blood like whenever you do the stinger. just gushes, which is disgusting. Out we go. Few more. We can still buy stuff from Vulgrim in the Shadow Realm, where all those children's card games go. Imagine if the Shadow Realm from Darksiders crossed over with the Shadow Realm in Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's get ourselves... Oh, we have a delay. There we go. We have a delay combo. Yeah, no, that's good. Delay combos are always great. Yeah! Delay combos tend to be pretty cool. Like in Devil May Cry, Million Stab can be a delay combo. They had lots of really cool ones. Alright, what's this next trial? I've stabbed 2 of your eyes. Let's not get cocky here. The gory end. Okay, so remember when I said, hey, if you're a trophy/achievement hunter, there's one that's more or less just kind of required for you to be here? Well, here it is. There are these little bat things. And you can just immediately do your kill move. But the way in order to get the trophy/achievement is by doing this without touching the ground. So you kind of have to be just... You kind of have to work with your jumping moves so that you don't touch the ground. I think the number is like 5. But yeah, by doing this trial, it's an easy way to find all these all in one spot, so you can basically do all the kill moves like one after the other. And that should be a pretty easy trophy. But yeah, you might want to restart if you mess it up. Because I messed up before, so I had to restart. I'm surprised that War or any of the other, I'm surprised that War and none of the other Horsemen were in Battle Chasers as like a secret boss. I know that War's Sword Chaos Eater was like a Kickstarter bonus for Garrison, but come on. Like, you know, like one of the coolest things you can do in a video game is like have a character from another series or have a character from like the previous game show up as like a boss or something like that. Like SMT did that a lot. Like, they had Dante from the Devil May Cry series in Nocturne, which was a really cool boss fight. And Digital Devil Saga, the Demi-Fiend was the super boss. And that was really cool. And in a few of the earlier Persona games, actually in, you know, the recent Persona games, the previous characters make little cameos here and there. Oh boy. That's embarrassing. So let's just go ahead and cut to the part where I got all 30. There we go. That's better. But having War or any of the other horsemen be characters in the Battle Chasers game would have been great. I would have thought it was interesting. But yeah, I guess sword is enough. It's fine. I never actually read that many of the Battle Chasers comics. I have them. I have them online whenever I have them online when I did the whenever I pledged to the Kickstarter for the Battle Chasers game. Like I have more than a few Battle Chasers comics to read. I just haven't. But it's got a cool art style. I like Joe Mad's designs. So now the entire area is poison. You're gonna lose health while fighting the weakest enemies. Standard issue battle trial stuff. But it doesn't really matter because, if you kill a few of them, there's a chance they'll give you health. And also these guys are like super weak and easy to kill. Yeah. And the poison is honestly just kind of not even noticeable. And also they give you wrath. So, like, early game is super easy. Darksiders is not really terribly difficult. Again, any game that has New Game Plus, which I'm not using at the moment, but any game that has a New Game Plus style mechanic that lets you carry over anything, even if it's the most basic thing ever, like say money, or any kind of, or like what the Tales series does, they let you use grade, which is, hey, how good were you in combat in your initial playthrough? Okay, cool, you get to buy some stuff, like all your moves, or all your titles, you get a bigger item, you can hold a lot more items. Any game that lets you have essentially New Game Plus stuff to carry over to your next playthrough is not going to be super hard, unless it's like Dark Souls, in which case... But then again, there are games like Dark Souls that take that into account, but then again, it's not really the weapons themselves that were the main deciding factor for you winning. It's just, like, hey, how good were you at learning the boss's patterns? I think that's kind of an exception to that rule. Also, the same thing goes with, like, any Dark Souls-like game, like Nioh or Sekiro, I guess. I'm strictly talking about games like your usual RPGs, like the Tales series, or the Persona series, as you've probably seen in my Persona 5 Let's Play, because I'm using New Game Plus stuff, and it just carves through bosses and enemies like butter. I'm not saying that there's no challenge because I'm playing on normal difficulty, which is essentially easy mode at this point. But, yeah, that's because I don't want to play, like, ludicrous difficulty, like lunatic difficulty. Fire Emblem kind of does that in an interesting way. Like, Three Houses is a New Game Plus mechanic, which I've been using. It does make the game a bit easier, though. But then again, the most recent DLC for Fire Emblem Three Houses came out where you can do, like, new auxiliary maps, which give you, like stupid amounts of XP and stat-boosting items. And also, you have some super stat-boosting items just, like, for free. So that basically makes a lot of fights kind of, alright, sure, not that big a deal. But then again, they also introduced maddening, which I'm not doing. Because, yeah, no. I like hard games. Like, I play... Oh, cool, we got a counter. Like, I like hard games. Like, I like Devil May Cry. It's one of my favorite series. But... the ultra hard difficulties have to have some kind of reward besides just personal gratification and a trophy, in my opinion. Like with Devil May Cry, if you beat like Dante Must Die, you get the super costumes that you can use to just mess around with. But they also did the DLC cop-out move of like, hey, do you not really want to do the hardest difficulty, but you do want the super costumes? Here, pay a little extra and you get to have those. Which I don't do that. What else can we buy from Volgrim? We got a couple extra souls. Let's see. Power Strike should be pretty good. A home run swing does sound pretty appealing. And we'll also add ourselves a new move with the scythe. Yeah! Damn, it unleashes like damn souls out of the frickin' scythe. Big ol' home run swing. Well, we did all the combat trials, so we can actually progress. Okay, I did your stuff. You can let me by now.
Well, see you later.
There he goes. Oh, cool. Now we get more now we do more damage by throwing cars at people. Yeah, sure, why not? Not like we have any other augments to work with. Some big-ass sewer tunnels. I suppose it's appropriate that more of these bat enemies are showing up, considering we're going after Tiamat. Who, I think as I mentioned in the previous update, I'm curious that she's a bat queen in this, even though in other forms of media, she's a dragon. The queen of dragons, actually. Very large, multi-headed dragon. Then again, that's D&D, but... No, she was a dragon in Final Fantasy too, so I'm not entirely sure why she's a bat. You know what? I'm gonna look that up. See what Tiamat brings up. Let's see. Yeah, no, straight up, Tiamat is a dragon. She is a dragon. Well, let's see. She is a Babylonian primordial goddess of the sea salt. Well, there's one portraying her as like a griffin. Usually described as a sea serpent or a dragon. Is there anything that refers to her as like a bat? Not really. Not really. It's definitely more reptilian. But I mean, I guess you can just call it whatever you want. She still flies, so that kind of works. Like in Final Fantasy, she's the wind boss. So that makes sense. Oh, funny fact. Yeah, in Final Fantasy, Liam O'Brien voices Kain, my favorite Final Fantasy character, and he's associated with wind, so that's cool. Not really, that doesn't really mean that much in Darksiders, but hey, it's still fun. Although, come to think of it, I don't think Tiamat really shows up as a boss in, well, she might. It's been a while since I played FF4. I don't think she shows up as a boss in FF4. Barbara Sia does, and she's the wind boss who has a heavy connection with Kain, but I don't know. Anyway, the broken stair. What was your plan? I wondered if these places were called, like, these heavy metal album cover names, like, whenever the city wasn't busted. Like, did they call this place the Broken Stair, or did demons just call it that? Ooh, another collectible. More stuff to sell. Lovely water texture. They just stand no chance. Why do they bother? I guess to be fair, most of the zombies have the top of their heads removed, so I guess it makes sense. I guess I can't really fault them. But really, like, some form of primal instinct should kick in to where they realize, oh, sink or swim, we're probably gonna die if we don't run away from this guy. Maybe don't go near the guy who has the massive-ass arm and big-ass sword. And we've almost finished up a heart container. What's up, Volgrim? How you doing, spooky Phil Lamar? Get a few more souls. Flipsaw sounds pretty cool. And Meteor Strike, why not? Just, you know. More aerial combos. Yeah! Oh, frickin' Whirling Dervish of Doom. I am the Beyblade. Oh, so good. So satisfying. Trying to think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, Dante and Virgil have a move similar to that. I forget which one Dante uses, but with Virgil, it's definitely Lunar Phase. Oh, Lunar Phase is so fucking cool, and it's like super useful. I use that move a ton in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. Speaking of that, oh man. On one hand, I'm a little disappointed that Virgil DLC was never done, and neither was the Ladies' Night DLC. That kind of bums me out. But the fact that there's a possibility that DMC 6 might be a thing, and it might not be too far off, just makes me feel all kinds of good. Oh, that makes me feel good. I hope that's a thing, and I hope you can play as all the characters. That would be great. Or they might do a DMC5 special edition thing, where you get to play as every single character in the game. You know, like in the previous games. That'd be nice, too. But no, DMC5 is... It's more or less a perfect action game. I highly recommend if you haven't played DMC5, as I'm playing the Darksiders game, go play DMC5, it's great. Also, play Darksiders, it's pretty fun, too. Home run swing! These wings are awesome. They look really cool. Oh look, there's another heart piece. They're sneaky, aren't they? Yeah, full life stone. Oh, and another health bar. Well, let me just fly here and... Oh my goodness! How could I have known? Yeah, don't all line up at once, guys. You friggin' dumb bats. Not really a broken stair, more like a broken bridge. Bit of a misnomer. Oh my goodness, look at that boy. Look how big he is. And he's got like Wolverine X-23 claws. Now that is a frickin' Joe Mad design if I ever saw one. That guy looks like he fits in Spawn. Oh, that would be awesome. Spawn Darksiders crossover? That'd be great. Have your car back, jackass. I would love to see a Darksiders Spawn crossover. That would be amazing. And it would fit so well. Just throw it right back at him. Let's play catch. Here, now you. What are you gonna do? Oh, okay. Okay, so he hits a little hard. Gotta be careful. You know what? I deserve that. I was being a freaking shit, so I need to actually pay attention and, you know, do the moves properly and dodge like Dark Souls. Or just do the kill move. Yeah, you don't get any more arms. You lose those privileges. You also lose your neck privileges. Even more souls! A never-ending bevy of souls! Oh look, I see even more in that building. Let's go get them. I always enjoy just seeing Ward just slam a friggin' zombie like a sack of potatoes. There's just something oddly satisfying about it. And he'll just keep doing it like he's frickin' Donkey Kong. Because War is subtle. That's how I describe him. Subtle. Oh, look, a key. That's not really a key, that's more of a guitar, I believe is how they're pronounced. Those little punching blades that Voldo uses. And now let's see how Darksiders keys work. They work by stabbing stuff in the eyes. What is with this What is with these keys? Why does everything have to be so violent and mean? Can't we just open a door like a normal person? Oh look, angels. Let's see if they don't get their shit kicked in this time.
This way.
Uh-oh. I better hide.
It's nothing. Some demon trick.
I know what I saw.
He's right.
Uriel.
War, what are you doing? Why are you hiding?
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, ancient. Neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lost between.
Time to steal myself a griffin! Yeah! My goodness. Oh. So here's another trophy achievement thing that you can do. How good are you at Star Fox, or at shooting games in general? Because this game's gonna test you. Time for a rail shooter on top of a griffin.
The horseman approaches.
Angelic Mount. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised this game never got a crossover with World of Warcraft. It looks like it would fit right in. Just shoot a bunch of angels. In order to get this achievement, you more or less have to shoot everything that you see. I feel like there's a little bit of wiggle room, but you're gonna, if you want to get that trophy, if you're playing on like Xbox or PS4 and you want that trophy / achievement, you're more or less gonna have to shoot everything that you see. Which, this might take you a few tries. Because as far as I know, it's kind of like a time-sensitive, missable trophy. Those are always the best kind of trophies. The ones that you can miss forever. Unless you, like, start the level again. Although this is a pretty fun sequence. I like it. I started to like it a little less when I had to redo it about 3 to 4 times. It looks cool. It's like Ride of the Valkyries, but in reverse. You also get a pretty decent chunk of souls doing this. And yeah, you can either do a charge shot, which does a lot of damage and it homes in on all your targets, or you can try your best with the rapid fire shot, which honestly is a bit on the weak side in my opinion. Honestly, I just say do the charge shot. It does more damage and you're more likely to actually kill something with it. Also, homing shots are pretty good. Your justice is at hand. Oh, God. Why aren't you guys using angelic mounts, too? Did you run out? Wait, why do angels need angelic mounts? What is the point of this? Why do they need griffins? They have wings. Is it just for the charge shot? Because I feel like you can just, like, I don't know. It just seems a little weird that they would need flying mounts for, you know, creatures that can basically fly already. And also, look at that guy. Wow, this is just going to hell in a handbasket. There's just so much shit coming right at you. Oh, now I want to play Star Fox. And the only good recent Star Fox game there is like Starlink. Which is depressing. Who actually bought Starlink on anything but the Switch, is my question. And why would you? Why would you want to play the game that does not have Fox McCloud as a character? Even if you don't like Star Fox, that just seems like the worst deal. Oh, you get trophy support, cool. But you basically lose, like, an extra character or two. You actually lose 4 characters. Because Fox, Falco, Peppy, and Slippy are now playable characters, I think due to an update. I haven't played Starlink in a while, but apparently that's a thing that happens. I want a new Star Fox game. I know Star Fox Zero wasn't the best, but come on. That's not reason enough to stop the series. Give us a new Star Fox game for the Switch. Or you know what? Screw it. Don't give us a Star Fox game, give us a Star Wolf game. I would love that. Playing as Wolf, Panther, and Leon, that'd be great. And maybe throw in Pigma. I don't know. Probably not, though. Just those 3 would be good. This is a long sequence. Surprisingly long for just a rail shooter. But I think we're just about to the end. Just blast everything, even the regular bats, not just the demon bats. Just shoot everything. Don't stop shooting. Jeez. They're just trying to get away, War. They're just trying to leave. Oh, the humanity. Oh my goodness, it's awful. Just blow away everything. Who cares? It's a lot of them. We have a lot of souls. We'll be able to buy a bunch of stuff from Vulgrim, or at least a few new moves. But I believe we are just about there, because there's about a minute left in the video. Yeah, there we go. Hey, we finally got to Tiamat's castle. There she is! We'll be dealing with her later. Anyway, so that'll do it for this update. The next update, the Twilight Cathedral. Which I guess we'll fight Tiamat. Anyway, until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next update of this series that's totally not dead. Till then, see ya.